fact, the aspiring member of parliament for the GFP in the Nsawam-Adro constituency. Patrick, thank you for your time. Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, the Electoral Commission says your party stands disqualified to contest in the 2024 general elections. You are very enthusiastic about that. What does that mean to you?
The Electoral Commission, as of yesterday, said that our party will still retain the number 3. I don't know, as in we not contesting for the 2020 election.
Well, I'm sure that your presidential candidate has been disqualified according to the Electoral Commission, even though the consensus was that your candidate's photograph, your late candidate's photograph was going to be there. So, I mean, it's clear. Let's not juggle it the way we think we understand it. The Electoral Commission was very clear in announcing it.
All right. Thank you. Good morning to your listeners. Good morning to Ghanaians. Yes. I take this with very, very heavy heart because I don't know exactly the criteria that went through as in trying to confirm the nomination of our presidential candidate. I think the time where he was coming from the running mate position to the presidential race itself. So, as of yet, I still, because this time, as we speak, the issue, as in the demise of our founder and leader, Ekadonko, is something very new to the country. As in few days to elections where a presidential candidate loses their life. This is a new thing to the country as a whole. So I was expecting that at least throughout this process, there's going to be some form of education for the whole country as a whole and the youth as in upcoming future leaders as a whole. So if on this occasion, the running mate of a person that holds the presidential candidate for a particular political party loses, dies, and the running mate who at that time, through the nomination, has filed, because I know that the person who runs for that position has to bring all the necessary documents, just like the presidential candidate has to bring.
Right.
So at this point, I don't know, for one, you are telling Ghanaians that the credibility of Roman father, who is Mr. Piakubi, cannot come through as a presidential candidate ever in this country. I don't know what and how I can be explaining this else, but this is what it states. The Electoral Commission states to Ghana that as in when our presidential candidate died and we wanted to replace her with our running mate, who was already a part of a nomination form which was presented to the EC, which was accepted and balloted for this election. At this point, a crucial point for Ghana Freedom Party, when we just had 10 days to go through this to make this happen, the person who we brought up, that is the running mate of Ghana Freedom Party, could not qualify for.
Well, the Electoral Commission says that there were some errors that, had laden your application, and they were not the ones to tell you how to correct and all of that. So that was the basis, really. Hello, Mr. Tete.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, the Electoral Commission said that you had some mistakes in your documentation, and that's the basis for disqualification. I'm sure you know that Mr. Bernard Mona of the PNC has faced the same thing. The PPP also is not featuring in this election because of similar issues. So how different is yours from theirs?
Okay, that is why I'm trying to at least drag this so much, but I know that for a fact we would want to know exactly what errors later, because this is a crucial election, just few days to elections, because of the peace, stability of this country. Yes, Ghana Freedom Party has accepted this. We are going into this race. But nevertheless, you know that we have 4 aspiring candidates. And as we speak, so we are contesting for elections where our presidential candidates as well as running mates is not on the ballot for the main race. And, a lot of calls coming through, people asking questions and stuff. It makes the credibility of all these aspiring member of parliament come down. Because the leader that we are even pushing forward with is no more on the ballot.
How does your party feel about this disqualification? I mean, the rank and file of your party, the GFP.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That this one is, we are taking this with a very big heavy heart because we just lost our leader and founder, and at this time where we as a party struggled so much within the 10 days given period of the Electoral Commission, going to Kumasi, back and forth to Accra and back to make this happen. And at this time, there's a disqualification of our flag presidential candidate from this crucial race, which is the 2024 election, which is the election which has the greatest number of presidential candidates on this election. And I am just trying to confirm. I've been thinking throughout the night, asking myself, so assuming we've already won this election, and our founder and leader, the late Dada Mekua Donkor, was the president, and in a state of emergency where, as in the time where our late Professor Ivan Satamos left Ghana at a sudden shock time. At that time, the country was forced to push our president at that time, the vice president, who's Dr. Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, at that time, to be the president of Ghana. So I'm just imagining, I don't know exactly what the errors are, so I will just take it as it is. We are saying that at this crucial time of Ghana's election, democracy, and peace, we'll go through this. But yes, this is a very big blow to the party as a whole, myself, not taking this very easily.
Patrick, thank you very much indeed for your time. We're grateful. That's Mr. Patrick Tete. He's the GFP's candidate for MPship in the Swami Droejuri constituency in the greater, in the eastern region, I beg your pardon, not the greater Accra region. Let's listen to the Electoral Commissioner, Jean Mensah, when she made that announcement yesterday, and then we'll get into a quick break, return from the break, and then get into Parliament. I understand that one part of the Parliament of Ghana say, okay, we will not come.
That's what the signals I'm picking from. Well, now what the Supreme Court has declared the minority side, the NDC.
Anyway, listen to Madam Jean Mensah.
Regarding the 2024 presidential ballot, and I know there have been a lot of discussions about it in the media landscape, but I'd like to assure you that there's no cause for alarm, even before I move forward, because I see Dr. Tanko looking very jittery and taking off his glasses. As you may be aware, the Commission received notice of the home call of Madam Mekua Donkor on the 29th of October 2024. Per Article 54 of the 1992 Constitution, and Regulation 13.4 of CI 127, the Commission wrote to the Ghana Freedom Party and provided them a period of 10 days within which to file a new candidate. Article 50 of the 4 of the 1992 Constitution reads, where at the close of nominations, but before the election, one of the candidates dies, a further period of 10 days shall be allowed for nomination. In that respect, the Commission wrote to the Ghana Freedom Party and asked them to present a new candidate within 10 days. In fulfillment of that request, the Ghana Freedom Party presented Mr. Apia Kubi, who was before then the vice presidential candidate to Madam Mekua Donkor. The party presented him as the presidential candidate of the Ghana Freedom Party. He and the party went on to submit their nomination forms on the 5th of November, and our technical teams went to work immediately reviewing the nomination forms. At the end of the process, they detected a number of errors and some illegalities with the form. The candidate's attention was drawn to these errors, and the party was provided an opportunity to correct them. They did that. In the view of the Commission, it was not in our bosom to provide the political party the opportunity to correct some of the illegalities that we found on the form. In that respect, the party did not draw their attention to it because the Commission does not feel that it is in its bosom to allow any political party to correct illegalities with the form. The Commission, therefore, as at yesterday, wrote to the party and to the candidate disqualifying him from contesting the 2024 presidential election. This morning, we are here to inform you of the Commission's decision to maintain the presidential ballot as it is. As you may be aware, and I believe all of you have representatives in the printing houses, we are almost 90% complete with the printing of presidential ballots. And you are also aware that following the passing of Madam Ikuya-Donkor, we requested the printing houses to cease printing until, the law had taken its course. Now that the presidential candidate or the nominee has been disqualified, the Commission would like to inform you that the printing would proceed on the current ballot as is, in the interest of time and to save this country millions of cedis. And so our task here this morning is very simple. We are not here to change positions. We are not here to reballot. We are simply here to inform you that the Commission intends to notify our printing houses to proceed with the presidential ballot as is. It will proceed with the ballot that bears the name and the image of the name of the Ghana Freedom Party, their symbol, and the image of Madam Ikuya-Donkor. And we believe that a lot of discussions and advertisements will go out to prevent the citizenry from voting for her. So this is our mission here this morning. It is a simple one, as I said. We'd like to thank you for your time and your attention.
That's Jean Adukwe-Mensah. She's the Electoral Commissioner. We'll take a break. When we return from this break, there's more here on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. We'll be exploring how much time the Electoral Commission has, what kind of public education they're talking about, how much, for example, it costs us, and how well can that education reorient the minds of the people to come to the realization that, well, spot ballots will not rise beyond the 316 or 317,000 that we saw in 2020. See you shortly after the break.
Agu Ghana for